Let's rewind to ancient Spain. Before Cordoba was a postcard-perfect city, it was just a promising patch of land. The Romans, always on the lookout for prime real estate, spotted the Guadalquivir River and said, "Perfect." In 169 BC, they founded Corduba not as a backwater but as the capital of a Roman province. They built roads, aqueducts, temples, the works. Corduba quickly became a major administrative and economic hub, the Washington, D.C. of southern Spain, but with more togas. The city produced big names like the philosopher Seneca, yes, the guy on all those motivational posters. The Romans laid down stone foundations that would last for centuries. Their infrastructure was legendary. The Puente Romano bridge they built is still standing today, handling tourists and locals alike. Imagine building something so sturdy it survives 2,000 years. That's Roman quality. Corduba thrived as a city of culture, power, and olive oil. It was the place to be for any ambitious Roman. But empires don't last forever. New powers would soon arrive, each with their own vision for the city. The Roman era was just the opening act in Cordoba's long, dramatic story. The stage was set, the city was built, and history was about to get a lot more interesting. The Romans gave Cordoba its bones, roads, bridges, and a reputation for greatness. But soon, the city would have to adapt to new rulers and new ideas. The next chapter was about to begin, and Cordoba was ready for it. The city's story was only getting started. Let's see who comes knocking next. After Rome's fall, chaos reigned, and the Visigoths moved in. These Germanic newcomers took over, bringing Christianity and converting temples into churches. Cordoba's glory days faded, the city became quieter, less grand, and a bit neglected. The Visigoths weren't big on maintenance, think of them as moving into a mansion and letting the garden go wild. Still, they kept Cordoba alive, laying the groundwork for its religious future. The city was no longer a center of learning, but it remained an important regional capital. The Visigoth era was a historical pause, a bridge between Rome and what was coming next. Their rule was unstable, full of internal drama, making them vulnerable to outside forces. Cordoba's shine dimmed, but its story wasn't over. The Visigoths set the stage for a new era, one that would transform the city forever. Soon, a new power would arrive, bringing a cultural explosion. The city was about to wake up from its slumber. The next chapter would be anything but quiet. Someone was about to take over, and they weren't just coming for a visit. Cordoba's transformation was just beginning. In 711, everything changed. An army from North Africa swept into Spain and took Cordoba. Under Islamic rule, Cordoba didn't just recover, it became the capital of Al-Andalus and the most advanced city in Europe. Abd al-Rahman I, a survivor from Damascus, founded a new dynasty and turned Cordoba into a caliphate. The city became a beacon of learning, tolerance, and innovation while the rest of Europe stumbled through the Dark Ages. Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived together, creating a melting pot of ideas. Scholars like Maimonides and Averroes pushed the boundaries of science, medicine, and philosophy. Cordoba's libraries held hundreds of thousands of books, more than most kingdoms. The city boasted streetlights, hospitals, and paved roads. It was a golden age of coexistence and creativity. Cordoba's population soared, its influence unmatched. This was the city's brightest moment, a true center of the world. Knowledge, culture, and tolerance flourished here. Cordoba's legacy was set in stone. You can't talk about Cordoba without the Mezquita, the city's soul and a symbol of its layered history. It began as a Visigothic church, then became a shared space between Christians and Muslims. As the Muslim community grew, Abd al-Rahman bought the whole site and built the Great Mosque in 784. The Mezquita's forest of columns and hypnotic red and white arches became an architectural marvel. Columns were recycled from Roman and Visigothic ruins, making it a sustainable masterpiece. Over centuries, each ruler expanded and embellished the mosque, adding gold mosaics and a towering minaret. The Mezquita became one of the largest sacred buildings in the world, a crown jewel of Al-Andalus. But history had another twist. When Christians reconquered Cordoba, they couldn't bring themselves to destroy the mosque. Instead, they built a massive cathedral right in its center, a bold, bizarre fusion of faiths. King Charles V famously regretted the change, saying they'd destroyed something unique. The Mezquita stands today as a monument to Cordoba's complex past. It's a building with an identity crisis, part mosque, part cathedral, all history. Every stone tells a story of conquest, coexistence, and transformation. The Mezquita is Cordoba in miniature, layered, beautiful, and unforgettable. It's a place where history is impossible to ignore. The city's spirit lives in its arches and mosaics, and its story is far from over. Cordoba's golden age ended as the caliphate fractured and Christian kingdoms advanced. In 1236, King Ferdinand III captured the city, marking a new era. The Mezquita was consecrated as a cathedral, its minaret became a bell tower, and the city's identity shifted. Mosques were converted to churches, Arabic faded, and the policy of coexistence ended. Muslims and Jews faced pressure to convert or leave. Many departed for Granada or North Africa. The Jewish community was forced into a separate quarter, then expelled in 1492. Cordoba's vibrant multicultural society unraveled, replaced by a more homogeneous Catholic city. Christian rulers built new landmarks, like the Alcázar fortress, where Columbus met the monarchs. Cordoba played a role in the Reconquista and the Age of Discovery, but its global influence faded. Power shifted to cities like Seville and Madrid. Cordoba became quieter, living in the shadow of its own past. The city's golden age was over, but its legacy endured in stone and memory. The echoes of its greatness remained. Cordoba was no longer the center of the world, but its story was far from finished. The city would find new ways to shine. After the Reconquista, Cordoba faded into a quiet provincial town. The expulsion of Muslims and Jews gutted its economy and intellectual life. The city shrank, becoming a living museum of its former glory. While Europe modernized, Cordoba preserved its medieval streets and ancient buildings. New construction was rare, so the city's historic core survived almost untouched. Grand houses with beautiful patios became a local tradition, but the city was no longer a major player. Cordoba's long slumber accidentally preserved its golden age for future generations. Its narrow streets and old walls became a time capsule. The city's decline was its salvation. History survived because progress passed it by. Cordoba became a place to visit, not to conquer. Its past was its greatest treasure. Sometimes, standing still is the best way to save your story. And Cordoba's story was waiting to be rediscovered. Today Cordoba has awakened, embracing its rich history as a global treasure. Tourists flock to the Mezquita, wander the Juderia, and soak in centuries of culture. The historic center is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, celebrated for its beauty and legacy. Every May, the Festival of the Patios transforms the city. Residents open their flower-filled courtyards, turning Cordoba into a living garden. It's a tradition rooted in community and beauty, now the city's signature event. But Cordoba isn't just a museum, it's a vibrant modern city with a youthful energy. University students, tapas bars, and a thriving food scene keep the city lively. The weather is famously hot, but perfect for enjoying life outdoors. Cordoba balances its epic past with a relaxed present. It's a city of layers, Roman, Islamic, Christian, all visible in its streets. Walking here is like traveling through time. History isn't just in books, it's in the stones, the arches, and the spirit of Cordoba. From Roman roots to Islamic brilliance to modern revival, the city endures. Cordoba's story is one of resilience, beauty, and transformation, and it's still being written, one sunlit patio at a time.